sir. Good morning. Before we start our interview, we want to thank you for accepting our invitation and for making this interview happen. Let me introduce myself first. I am Jessica Clair Alvarado, and here are my classmates, Niza Gwenn Madarang and Joanna Lyn Regalado. We are graduating students of Bachelor DAVAO Norte State College with a bachelor's degree in tourism management.
So, hello Sir Ramel. I am Joanna and ang atong interview po today is just all about discrimination. Like discrimination you have experienced inside the workplace where you are currently employed or even in your past jobs. You can freely share it with us po. Like experiences or like your experiences of unfair treatment just because of your gender identity, nationality, your background, and many others. Especially knowing that you belong to the LGBT community. This is the first question. In what company are you currently employed? Tell us about your job or position inside that company.
Okay, there. I actually work at Sogo Hotel here in Davao, was just currently built here, and I was assigned in the front desk. I was like a cashier, where I take money for those guests.
Okay, so are you happy and content with your current job?
We actually have that thought like happy na lang because we don't have a choice. But yes, because it is a company who bring food to our tables, and although there are actually some instances that problem may occur on my coworkers, but yes, I'm still happy with the company.
All right. So how long have you been working for Sogo company, sir?
I started last year, so more likely around um 10 months. Yeah, 10 months.
Okay. Sorry. With regards to discrimination, have you ever experienced discrimination from your coworkers or even from your customers or guests inside your workplace? What were your thoughts about that?
Um, we when we talk about discrimination, that is something too broad. There are actually a lot of kinds of discrimination. You were discriminated not just because you are part of LGBTQ. You're also discriminated by on how are you going to do things, or based on your how do you call that, based on your status on your education. So for us, who is not really who is not actually a graduate, but was assigned to like cashier. One thing that I was discriminated is since I was assigned on the cashier, of course, it involves money. This needs something computation. With regards to that one, there's a time where I was like, there's this short charges on the cashier, and I was questioned like, what happened to that? Why it was short? And I said, that's all I got. That's all I got. That's what I had counted. And by that, since they already know that I'm not a graduate, I'm not a fourth year graduate of any courses related to like something doing cashier, I was like discriminated by that. Like they're going to say, how come this hotel managed to hire someone that doesn't have a knowledge about accounting or about something counting, and they right now they put me on the cashier, which needs to have like those background, and that is one type of discrimination that I have. But aside from that, I was discriminated by my gender identity. I was like, I was a boy, but I was assigned as a cashier. And of course, you were discriminated, but because mostly of the cashier is like, of course, they're a girl, and they're gonna say like, why this man assigned here, which makes the guest uncomfortable, or somehow like those visitors. I encountered once there is a foreign, which is a guest from America. They go there because they want to rest, and he said, I wanted to to check in, and is there any way that can assist me? I said, yes, sir, I can definitely assist you. He said, no, you cannot assist. You're a man. You're supposedly in the stockroom area or somewhere where it's only a man. It's only the man who did that thing. Yeah, most commonly like at the stock room, or someone who carry big things like that. And yeah, most especially aside from that, um, I guess those are the discrimination I got from work, and also mistreatment of my colleague, where like when it comes to promotion, it's really hard to get a promotion when you are working in a hotel or a sogo, because unlike to the other company, like to the other company where there is like a number base or a performance base where the higher department is only going to hire you if you're going to give them the perfect performance. They will base the position on what you had contribute to the company. But in this hotel where I was working, it's not how it works. The position is actually basing on the closeness. So let's say it's kind of toxic, because if you are not close to that person, uh, yeah, basically, if you're not close to that person, you don't have like being promoted is not something you can get, because again, you are at the lower part, in which you need to get the attention. You need to get close to the managers or some of the people who is in the higher position. I guess those are types of mistreatment or discrimination I got so far in my company.
All right. Thank you for that, sir. So, since you have experienced discrimination inside your workplace or inside the workplace in Sogo Hotel, so sa imuhang answer, what are your strengths or weaknesses to sort your coping mechanism po?
Okay. Yeah, although we experience those discriminations, but of course we have like support system in which encourage us to work hard despite of whatever discrimination we got from those people. For me, I got my family at my back, and of course, I got I got my family, my friends. And one thing that I did is that every time I was discriminated or I was like mistreated, I never see that as something negative to me. I see something like positive in that. I see options, what I can do to have things to make things better. Um, and Of course, I have my family who always support me, and they always tell me about something hard work and how about something discrimination. They even told me that people may be discriminated me on how I do something on or gender I had, but they are always there to support. They always there to guide, and they always there to do whatever they can do just to make me feel comfortable at work. And yeah, I just learned to right. For example, that doesn't mean you were discriminated is something you should stop there, because again you was discriminated. Of course, you have to do something to prove them that the person that they discriminated is something can do good to the company, can make things better for the sake of the company. Yeah, again, when it comes to support system, I do have my friends and the people around me.
Okay, thank you. So, from your past job, sir, kanang naka-experience na ba ka sir kanang since sa kuan pa lang sa hiring process pa lang is naka-try na ba ka kanang na-discriminate ka like sa imong gender identity po?
Yeah. Yes. On the time that I submit my how do you call my resume or my application form, I was like questioned first is my about the position that I'm applying for. Um, I actually tried to apply to like something bagger or someone that's going to carry like what a man do. Right, for example, like at the stock room, they are the one who assist when there is like something, a parcel of the company. If it's big, I actually apply there, and I was actually discriminated that way because supposedly, I mean that's what I know because on that company, one thing that I know is that they're not going to hire you on how do you call that on something that you not really belong, right? For example, at the cashier, if they think that you did not you how do you call that you're not belong to that how do you call that to that work field, or you cannot handle billing, and especially when it comes to counting, they're not gonna put you there. But of course, there is something we can do to make sure that we will be put into place to where we really belong. On my journey is that I applied as a stockman. I was like, it's not like it's a positive discrimination. I believe there is like a negative and there's a positive discrimination for me because I applied as a stockman. Okay, because I know to myself that I'm not really good at mathematics. I'm not really good at counting. But then again, how would you call that? Yeah, I'm not really good at counting and something that is involved mathematics. I'm not really good to that. So based on what they interview me, they actually we like encounter face to face interview with the hired supervisor at that specific at the Sogo Hotel, and then he approached me that he told me that you're not supposed to be there because that person who's in the higher department is also a member of LGBTQ. And then he told me that you don't deserve to work at that workplace where you like something is staff man or something like you're going to hand or to carry something heavy thing. He told me that you deserve to go to something for example cashier. So we tried, but that doesn't mean that it's interview or how do you call that yeah, interview ends. We undergo a lot of trainings. For example, after actually put me there, I think I don't questioning myself even though I already stated on my resume that he just gave trust in me. I was one of the trusted how do you call that? Trusted employee in the Sogo because of the because not just because of the wasn't counting discrimination for me.
Okay. Next question sir is sa ganda kanimo kaning kanang experience sa mga
Okay. Claire, right, for example, when you work in that company, you've been there for a long time. Of course, you're not gonna like settle for a position that is not what you want. You're going to aim something higher than that. It's not a bad thing, to aim for a higher position, so long that you can do it. And of course, with my determination on wanting to achieve that position, I really that is one of my strengths because even though people are even though I was discriminated, I was humiliated, I was mistreated, but my journey that doesn't stop there. I'm actually pursuing my job because I love it. And because I love it, I want to aim something higher than that. Of course, I feed my family. Not all the time I'm going to settle for that kind of average pay. I'm gonna be looking for something that can compensate my hard work, can compensate my staying on the company. Like yeah, that's actually my strength. Yeah, we could aiming for something higher position, of course, to get much more money. I guess that's it.
All right. So, we have follow-up questions po, and Madarang will be the one to make questions.
Okay.
Go na, Miss Madarang.
So another question, sir, is that did you report the discrimination to anyone? If so, to whom and what are the action taken?
Mm, yeah, I did once, but yeah, I did once. I did report it to someone high. I mean, because every department has its own supervisor. So I just report him to his supervisor. And aside from reporting him, I do have the idea of reporting that person to somewhere in Dolly. For example, to just like for to be able to take action for that. And also it's not just me who's going to file a complaint, because we have a group of people who's asking for someone's help to have that person kick off in that position because he's mistreating his people or his employee. I did report. I'm not, although I have like I have the capability on doing that, but I never did report it to in Dolly, because one thing that I did is I spoke to him personally. Like I told him, like I was humiliated, sir. That's not the treatment that I something deserve. I talked to him. Um, we somehow share we somehow share stories and how I cope up on that time that he discriminated me. And then what happened is that he told me that that is something um, that is something he mistakenly did, because he was just frustrated. He's not really into hurting someone's feeling. It's just that he was just having a bad day, and it so happened I was attacked, because I was the person that who was on that time. And I said, I hope that that won't happen again. And because the only reason why I'm here is I only just want to work, because I want to have something to feed for my family. And after that, everything was solved. Like I don't know if there's a magic in it, and because the next day and the following days, he's being so good to me and being good to other employee. I mean, there are actually some instances that we're not gonna like put the situation into something really complicated when we have something to do to have it fixed on our own. Or like, for example, if we were going to talk to them personally about the feelings that we had from them, about how they hurt us and how we felt. And by opening it to them, it seems like what I did is working. And it enlightens her mind, and everything remains perfect now. We're actually doing good in company.
And so, another is, what do you think the company could be doing better to prevent and address the discrimination?
All right, good question. Well, with regards to that, I think there is something. There is something. I know there is a law on protecting every employee here in the Philippines, but I hope there is a law that protecting pertaining to its employees itself, because I do see a lot of people who wanted to file a complaint to someone like Dolly, but they couldn't do that because they don't have, like, what's so called capit to to the person who work there. I hope there is someone who can. I mean, there is something like a rules or a policy in its own hotel or company, which tends to how do you call that, to protect the employee itself. So, right, for example, if there is something happening wrong here, they don't need to, or something like confession, concessions, somewhat like that, that could help those lower employees that doesn't have a power to, like, how do you call that, to raise their voice on something they wanted to raise, or somehow like complaint department, such like that.
In addition to that, sir, what can you say about or to those people who lacks of ethical behavior and keeps practicing it the working inside your workplace po?
Okay, and all right. For example, there are actually some employees which I saw that, for example, the guard was actually like sleeping on the working hours. Right. For example, they're resting even though they are on the duty hours. I guess what's going to happen is that before they get to hire people, they should know what they job they are applying, or they should like ask the person if they can do like shifting schedule. Like, for example, if that guard is incapable of working on graveyard shifts, so basically he's not really into something like that, because what happened is that this is actually a business, and if that keeps on happening, right, for example, those unethical behavior, or those behavior that should not possess at work, if they keep on doing that, the company will how do you call that, will lose people, and not just the guest, but also the employee, because of course those people is going to report that incident, and it could be me, or even all of us who's working on a company will might kick off on that specific company because of this specific complaint, and also because of the unethical behavior. And of course, those people who are working, I mean, who are not really working on, I mean, doing their job, right? For example, there are people who are what's so called attituding, and there are actually people, employees who are like, who felt that they are like a boss, which if that boss is going to say something to that, to do this, to do that, and they're going to say, like, it's somehow like they're going to say no, or how do you call that, yung parang yung parang pag-uutusan sila, like sila pa yung galit. That is something unethical, and that is not a good that's not like a good behavior that the employee should possess.
Okay, I agree with you, sir. But
There will be a
how
training on
about
that.
those treatment you've received from those people kanang who lack good manners and right conduct po? Unsa imong maingon sa ilaha, sir?
um there should be like a rules in a company where there's like a first Second, because that's what we had here in the company. I just raised that one last month because I do see something people whose lack of like ethics on their job. And there should be like a rule in it, like a first, second, third strike. If they consistently doing that, they should be kicked out because again, they run a business, and it keeps on happening. The business might be affected, and there should be like consequences of whatever bad things they are doing in a company.
Okay. Miss Jessica, it's your turn. Naka-off mic ka po.
Okay. For the last question, sir, do you have any other comments or suggestions about the company's policies or practices related to discrimination?
Okay. Um, I guess none so far. Just like an additional thing to say about those company. I guess they should not like base their job description to what the gender is, because they don't have idea what is the capability of that person can do to your company. And there should be no gender bias or gender discrimination specifically at job, because they also have family to feed, and they also have to put food on their table. Some of them are breadwinners, and some of them are like no family, and they're working on their own for themselves. I guess that's it.
So, additional question, sir. What inspiration you can give to those aspiring people, most especially LGBTQ member who want to or who wants to apply in a hotel po?
Yeah, I guess this goes to everybody, not just to my to my co-member, which is I know that this kind of discrimination thing happen every time in any job. One thing that I can what I can tell them is that at least they can do good at work. They will gonna do their best, and they have to think the reason why they're working, most especially for their family and for their for a living. And of course, to those um, to those aspiring how do you call that? Um,
LGBTQ member.
yeah, LGBTQ members, if you were discriminated, never let them feel that you were affected by what they are doing. Just do something good in silence, and we know exactly that there's gonna be like a good in return. I think that's it.
All right, sir. That would be all. I and thank you so much for your time and effort to become our interviewee and for sharing with us your experiences, strategies, or coping mechanisms to survive and move forward from those challenges encountered. Have a blessed Sunday, sir, and good morning once again.
All right.
Yeah. All right, thank you.